Guys, I have funny looking hair today due to quarantine and lockdown. Man, I want to make sure I will never go through this again. This lockdown could have been better. Like if I have a jacuzzi and a sauna place and then a place for me to ice bath, that would be nice. Right? Right? Are we as human beings prepared for the whatever? Because dinosaurs disappeared because they didn't read. But we can read. So now Earth has an answer to the problem of mass extinction. Right? It has happened like 5 times globally so far. And the Earth's answer is to evolve intelligence. Yeah, we caused some trouble to the Earth, but we also, oh my God, but also we are so far the best hope to survive whatever next event is coming our way, because we know how to dig hole on the ground, send stuff to the space, etc. So I want to talk about PTSD. So I bought a book. I think a lot of people can relate to that, because if you are lucky that you have a happy childhood, eventually as you get older you will accumulate enough traumatic experience, but thankfully because you're an adult you have a better defense mechanism, a mature brain, right, to handle that. But if you were not so fortunate and you start pretty early, maybe you can read about it. Like this is a new book I ordered on PTSD. For the longest time, I thought what I had was like depression, and then I thought I had chronic fatigue, and I thought I had some minor autism, and turned out that it's just everything is part of this PTSD. It's more accurate. It match more what I have, the symptoms I displayed with this label. So the good things about label is that it helps you organize information, and therefore you can find this like something that specialized to your specific situation, right? That's why we need label. And so I have this. If I just follow my own feeling and intuition over the years, maybe more a zen, right? And focus on listening to my own intuition, probably I could have solved all the issue now. But the mind is not so easy, because it would feel like I was slacking off. When I felt like I needed to play more, to not be like spending hours and hours on one project and then beat myself up. Instead, chunk it down into small pieces, distribute it, schedule it over many days to complete a big project, and avoid people who give me headache, like, which is a lot of people, right? A lot of people that make me to try get under your skin, because this is what they want, and to avoid them feel like I'm trying to spoil myself. It feel like unrealistic, and to just sleep early, sleep on time, and just socialize with the people you like and play, have more playtime. It seems counterintuitive, right, to our society. We romanticize a busy schedule. We romanticize beating ourselves up, feeling guilty of not traumatizing ourselves with deadline after deadline, because that's what school been training us to operate like. And if your family, your childhood was not a nourishing one, all this system failure can pile up, and eventually, like I said in my video about Joker, right, that movie, right, when everybody fail you and it start accumulating, you get something like PTSD, and then if you are not lucky, you might get into addiction and other aftermath. There are always consequences. Always there are somebody who has to pay for the price. That's how the actual karma is like. Oftentimes it's not the victimizer, it's the victims who pay the price. So you got to be smart and avoid unnecessary trauma. That's why I collect mental models. What's mental model, you might ask? It's just skill set, studying, reading books, occupational training, for example, give you a mental model. Studying mathematics, give you a mental model. Mastering martial art, give you a unique view as a martial artist. Makes you help you think like one. And the more mental model you collect, the easier it is to acquire new ones. It's not easy, because most people, like 99% people, fail at whatever they try, let alone trying more than one thing, right? So collecting mental model are hard, but supposed to be easy, because you get beginner gain, right? If you go to the gym, you start lifting weights, you get beginner gain the first 6 months, no matter how much you don't know, no matter how suck you are, as long as you try, you get a lot of gain in the beginning, right? Same for anything, as long as there are no school messing around with your learning. If you are self-learning, read some good textbook, learn it from some good YouTubers on YouTube, and you master those skills, I think you will be doing well most of the time in the beginning. And you master the fundamental, and then you build a mind map. Mind map? Mind map is a way to build connection between pieces of knowledge that you acquire throughout your life. So if you mind mapping is a lifelong skill that you have to use almost every day. Every day you're building better connection. It's like you're a librarian. You're a librarian of that is a library of your own brain. And every day you're categorizing, organizing the books in that library, and you retrieve information, and each time you retrieve information, it gets clear. You remember better, and you learn more out of it, out of the information that you draw from. And you build, each time you use one piece of information to answer question from another piece of information. For example, you learn better. For example, if you play basketball and you transfer some of those mindset and knowledge and skill to soccer, so even though you are like a noob in soccer, but the first time you play, you will be much better than people who never play other sport like basketball. So if you're good at basketball, chances are you get a lot of advantage when you begin to learn another ball type sport like soccer. That what happened to me. The better I get at basketball, the better I automatically get in soccer. But you have to form connection. So yeah, there you go. That's the mental model. I've been trying to deal with my flashback, my PTSD flashback in my last many days, and you see my teeth. It all can be traced back to my childhood trauma. The face that you have now, the appearance, chances it linked to all the bad things that happen as a result of more older bad things that happen as a result of even like bad things that came from like even earlier. It's like domino. So this tooth, it feel like it's just that happened to me in my adult that I have to extract it because the root canal is getting old. It's not just like that, When I was younger, I feel pain, this teeth when it comes out. I didn't go to the dentist because I was not used to asking for help. And that's had to do with a lot of how I was treated when I grew up. If I were more direct, more used to getting help right away, I would still keep my natural tooth there. So you can always trace back a lot of things. Nothing is just pure random. Yeah, just today I was telling one of my friends that a lot of the suffering that he is going through now has to do with his earlier negligence. Yeah? He doesn't have PTSD, but we've been communicating on and off last several years. A lot of time I give him advice and warning about certain things that if he continue to do, there will be consequences. And when the consequences comes, it's like magic. It's like I was a psychic. But then it's hard for a person on the receiving end of my advice to think, oh yeah, that means this thing happened to me because of me. Oh, yeah. If I don't exist, if I never gave him those warning and advice, he could have rationalized it away and say, and feel like, all this suffering just happened to me. Why? God, why? But because I was still alive, still here, I could remind him that, see, I told you. So it was not random. It was something that you chose to ignore. It was something that happened because of your dismissiveness. And so my conclusion is keep learning, right? Accumulate more skill and mental model. Use the power of consistency. Like I said, do a little every day, distribute it a bit. Like if you have a big goal, chop it up to small size so you can do a little bit every day so that it doesn't feel like work. If you are using more energy than you have, like more than 100% than you got, the next day you will be burned out. You will have to sleep more. Eventually you think slower, you get crazy because you are using energy that you don't have. You are using 110, 120%. Eventually the tomorrow have to pay back. So why not just do it as much as you can per day instead of cramming for exams? Start from day one. Don't procrastinate. Right? Instead of trying to do your homework at the absolute last minutes, like mathematics, you can, because your brain has to form connection during the night when you sleep. right? So you using the power of consistency to avoid more suffering. You have more enough suffering in your life. So by learning, like people who learn well, not only do they accumulate a lot of skill, not only do their IQ get higher, but they also get less likely to get addicted to things because soberness is correlated to your learning ability. To the extent you can learn stuff, you stay sober as much as you can learn. Yeah. So after this COVID, I want to raise money to solve this. Like, let's say if this implant doesn't work as well as I hope it to be, I'm getting an implant. It already failed once, but people fail to go to gym because they don't know how to form a habit. A lot of time they see working out as a, like, you can watch my video about how to go to gym every day. That video earlier. So basically, people punish themselves too much. People are trying to be a Spartan, or what they thought were Spartan, or Rocky. The Rocky, the movie, like when people watch UFC, MMA, they thought those guys go at it 24 hours 7 every day for 3 months. Boot camp, 3 months non-stop. But this is anti-science. That's not how it really is. A good fighter turned out they took note of naps. They take 90-minute interval of training twice a day. The rest were just resting, and is already considered too much for an average person. 90-minute session twice a day. Comparing with what we were taught by the movie and those commercial of like gym memberships, and like, oh, you have to constantly moving and punching bags and jumping hoops like for 6 hours non-stop per day. So you see how education and our society brainwashes us with useless, counterproductive ideas in our head, and it is counterproductive, and that's why there are so much system failure because people are failing. The system failed people, and people in turn failed the system, right? We got so much myth and wrong ideas from majority of the things that we are absorbing in our daily life, and we don't know how to handle or identify our problems, like my PTSD. We don't know how to get good at something, how to accumulate skill, how to even like hit the gym every day. We don't know how. But I know. I just shared a lot of how I did it in my videos. Well, feel free to comment and ask me more questions if you want. So yeah, after this lockdown, I'm going to probably travel. I want to go to travel to the warm place and then form my anti-cult, something like that. I'm going to have to teach people in person and have healing seminar. Yeah, because you don't have to have credential. You don't have to be 100% correct. You just have to follow your feeling, your intuition, and evolve, right? Just keep learning. Yeah, so I'll consider myself a guru now. I was a comedian, and I know, chances are you guys subscribe because of my main channel, and I upload my comedy there. But do you know that my original goal was to be on stage, preaching to an audience, saying useful stuff, like I do right now. That was my original goal, my purest goal. And sometimes you lose yourself. you lost. And I became a comedian because I wanted to prove that I was somebody, that I could achieve something before I talk about how to become somebody, you know. But like I say, do you really have to be teaching people how to succeed? Do you really have to be right about some difficult, useful question all the time? Can you just be like a toastmaster, go on stage for the sake of going on stage? That doing this guruling, my guruling right now, on its own, for its own sake, is an art. I don't have to do another art, like comedy, in order to confirm that I can do this art. Then I didn't have to start a YouTube channel to support my comedy. Then in order to support this, yeah, because it's like this is my goal. But then to support this goal, I had several other side goals, and then those goals also require several other side goals, and I heard that. Okay, I heard that most people are like that. Most people don't know how to stick with their main goal, their main calling, because they thought they needed money, they thought they need credential, they thought they need to go to school for that, or start a side business with a side income to support them in their main goal, or they need to prove themselves first, stuff like that. But in fact, you don't have to. You just have to be honest. Like when I Googling, I'm honest with you where I am right now and where I have been, what I have learned. And I don't have to be correct. Wow, it's just a freedom. So much freedom to know that. So if you have any question, do ask me below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like.